Good morning. Good morning. We're drinking from the Magical Unicorn Cup today. It's going to be a good Sunday. Grab your coffees and let's connect. As you join, please say good morning in the comments and let's connect today. Oh, it's warm and good. I don't know about you, but here in Southern Alberta, we have horrendous weather going on. It is full on winter. She's been a storming and a brewing most of yesterday, all night long, all this morning. It's kind of depressing, I'm not going to lie. I can handle a nice snowfall, don't get me wrong. I live in Alberta, I live in Canada. However, the blowing, howling, whipping snow can get right out of town because nobody enjoys that. Am I right? Like it makes it so you can't see. It makes it so the road conditions are worse. It's awful. Hot cup of coffee, a blanket, a couple friends, and an online virtual coffee club. We've got this made, my friends. So please say hello in the comments. We're just going to wait another little bit and then I don't know, most seem like, and then we'll get started, but it's just really just you and me here to ramble. I love this cup. It is difficult to drink out of. I'm not going to lie. So yeah, we'll just make sure the robe stays up. It's Jammy Sunday morning, so welcome. Keep your jammies on. Grab your hot cocoa, your coffee, or whatever it is. And hi, good morning, Mom. As you hang out for a couple minutes, say good morning in the comments so I know who I'm talking to. And yeah, welcome to Virtual Coffee Club. You may be here for the very first time, so welcome. We do this every morning at 9 a.m. Mountain Standard Time, just a place to connect, to have a coffee, to have some conversation, to hang out and have some fun. And we have different things we chat about. Fridays are dedicated to Fun Fridays with guests, and we just have a whole lot of fun. And coming into November, we are doing month 2 of our kindness revolution, which I'm really excited about. An opportunity to continue spreading kindness in the world. And what I love is that November is also focusing on us being really kind to ourselves. And I think we're the first person we need to be the most kind to before we can truly go and be more kind in our communities, in our world, online, etc. It starts inside. And we had a really great guest on Friday. I'm not sure if you had a chance to be with us on Friday morning or if you've seen that video, but I had my soul friend, Kara Marshall, join us. And she talked a lot about some ways of how we can start being kind to ourselves. And it's just really being in tune with yourself and with your body and going from there. And so one of the examples that she had given was, if you're feeling like you need to step back from something, then you do. So what I was thinking today would be fun to do in starting that kindness revolution internally is I want you to share with me today who you are. Now, this is an interesting challenge because a lot of people answer with something they've accomplished, right? But who are you as a person? And I would love you to play along today and take a moment, and it might take you a minute to reflect on what that answer is going to look like, because you can't describe yourself as something you're accomplishing. You need to tell me who you are from the inside, who you are as a person, who is your name. So I would like you to put in the comments, your name is, And then I want you to describe who you are. So you can't say things like, I mean, again, there's no wrong answer, but the gist of this challenge for us on this Sunday morning is that a lot of times people will say, oh, I'm a mom. I'm going to use an example of a friend. I'm a mom. I'm a barrel racer. I'm a national vice president. This is where I got this idea from. My beautiful friend, Jacqueline, who is working on our kindness calendar with me. And so that's how she was describing who she was. But those are 3 things that she has accomplished, or things she does, or things that she sees, but it's not who she is as a person. Does it make up part of her makeup of herself? 100%. But what I want you to think about yourself, and this is, I think what the challenge is we are really good at saying this about other people. We are not always awesome at saying it about ourselves. So if you feel inclined, please play along. You can say, I am, and then describe yourself in the comments, or you can say your name is and describe yourself in the comments. And let's see how we do with that this morning, because it's not always easy. So Janine says, Janine is a people person with empathic abilities. I love that. Sarah is compassionate. Robbie is generous, kind, and caring. I love these, you guys. And doesn't that feel like, I think I get lost in this sometimes myself. And that was maybe part of the, good morning, Darlene. Good morning, Liz. Hello, Jim. I think that we get lost in that sometimes. And if you ever feel, because I will admit I have these moments where, because I've had identifying careers in my life, when those shifted and changed, I felt very much like I went through what I would call an identity crisis. Because when you identify so solely with what you do, it becomes who you are. And when that shifts and changes, you feel a bit lost. And I've had that happen a couple of times in a small sort of window in the last 5 years of my life. And I have moments where I'm like, if you were to say, who is Jody Seeley? I would pause, a long, pregnant pause, and be like, I'm not sure. And I think we all have those moments. So I felt, in being kind to ourselves, how can we take a moment and think about who we really are as a person, not who am I as what I do for a living? Who am I as this? Who am I as labels that have been given to me, or titles? A lot of times we measure who we are by the title we have with what we do. And not that it's a bad thing, but I just want us to dig a little bit deeper. Darlene says, Darlene is compassionate, generous, and caring. Angie is kind, helpful, funny, and supports friends. Who are you this morning? That's your Sunday morning question. And I think I reflected a lot about this morning before going live in, can I answer that question? Can I ask you to answer a question like that? What does that look like? What does that feel like? And so for those of you who have put into the comments so far, thank you. I love seeing who you say you are. How does that make you feel to see that on that screen? Seeing your name with those descriptive words, how does that feel to you right now? And if you're somebody who's watching and thinking, and the hamster spinning on the wheel a little bit about it, and you're not sure which words to put in that, feel for a sec on how that's making you feel. And it's normal and it's natural. And I think we ebb and flow a lot into, and not necessarily that it's a confidence versus non-confidence thing. It's just stopping and identifying character things about yourself that other people see in you, that you may not see in yourself, that you may not know how to answer. Hope is the go-to person for many friends and family. I think you could dig deeper. I only say that to her because that's my mom. Elizabeth is caring, resilient, inclusive, and kind. All of those things. So how does that make you feel when you see those descriptive words around you? I hope good. I hope really good. And if you don't want to share that publicly, by all means, don't feel like you have to. Write it down on a piece of paper today. Say it to yourself in the mirror. Write it down on something. Think about it, reflect on it for a moment. Who are you? What is the things about you that you love? And then you can take the exercise a little bit further. If you wanted to reflect a little bit more, then you can go into what are the characteristics about yourself that you love? What are the physical traits about yourself that you love? What's your favorite thing about what you do? If you want to acknowledge some of those accomplishments, because sometimes we think, wow, I haven't really done much in my life, or I haven't really done anything. And like, what's the greatness I've brought into this world? And then you could start to reflect a little bit more on what are the accomplishments that you've done? What do you see that you've achieved? And maybe you don't even know that. Like maybe it's just part of that exercise of just writing down more of what are some of those things. I know one time a group of us were together and we went around the table and we talked about everything we've done individually since we left high school to date. Now that's an interesting exercise because you ended up putting more on that piece of paper than you thought. And when you look back at it, you're like, holy shit, I've actually done a lot of things since I left high school, or whatever milestone you want, depending how many years you want to go back for yourself. But what doing something like that shows you, like you've accomplished more things than you can even realize you have. And that's a pretty powerful tool in realizing some self-love. So that's kind of what I was thinking of today in this Sunday, is because it's sort of a day that is a little bit more reflective. There's, depending where I'm just looking out the window, if you're living in the forecast I'm currently in, you don't even want to go outside anyway. So do a little self-reflection and a little self-love on this self-care Sunday. Paula is a warrior for truth. 100%. And a beautiful one at that, Miss Paula, a beautiful one at that. So feel free to continue. If you have anything else on your mind today, I feel like yesterday I went on a little bit of a diatribe. So I'm gonna be a lot calmer on this Sunday, drinking from the magical unicorn cup. So everything is good in the world. But continue to share. And maybe you'll think of other things that you will describe yourself as in who you are as it goes on. Feel free to keep sharing that in the comments. Share that with yourself. If you want to take those challenges a little bit further, I encourage you to do that today and just find some time for yourself. And I know I keep saying it's like the 8th of November and we haven't put out the little calendar for the month yet, but it'll come. I'm being gracious to myself on that one. And yeah, what else is on your mind on this Sunday morning? Feel free to share in the comments. It looks like, not that I want to get into a political talk, but it was an interesting election down south, was it not? I'm not going to say I'm for or against any of the outcomes. It just, what a wild ride. But not at, was anybody surprised by that? I don't know. I felt going into it that it was going to be, crazy and dramatic. What else would it have been? Honestly. Coffee and Bailey's watching the 25 centimeters of snow coming down in Pincher Creek. Yeah, they had a major storm warning down in that section. I'm glad you're just watching it and you don't have to go out into it. Fingers crossed in that way. Winter storm supposed to end today, says our weather girl, Angie. That's in the High River area. Yeah, that will be nice. It could ebb and flow the winter as long as we continue to have niceness. I mean, I don't mind some snow. I don't like this blowing, like I said before. Makes it feel dangerous for people heading out. What else is on your mind on this Sunday morning? Pop it in the comments. We've got about 5 more minutes together, 4.5 minutes to have our coffee together. Thank you so much for being a part of it. If you're new to connecting on Coffee Club, we do this virtual club every morning at 9 a.m. It's just a place for some connection, for some conversation, and to keep us moving forward in this crazy world we're in. I don't like to call it that we're in a pandemic. I don't like to say, I mean, I'm not being delusional by any means, but I like to call it the great pause. And so through this time where the world has a great pause, how can we connect together and help each other grow as people? And we talked a lot yesterday about choosing as individuals to make decisions and to have a mindset, not of either or, but of and. And I hope that that resonates with you a little bit also. Good morning, Auntie Gail. You're welcome, Liz. So thank you for being a part of our conversation today. And think about that. Think about that for the rest of the day. Who are you? Without describing just your accomplishments, who are you as a person? What are the things that make up who you are in this world? And then if you want, like we talked about before, take the exercise a little further and talk about the characteristics you love about yourself. Put down some physical attributes you love about yourself, because we have to love those pieces also. We really do. And unpack a little bit about what are you bringing to this world. So one of the things that I like to use in the description, it's sort of an affirmation and a mantra for me, is that I am a lighthouse. I like to use that analogy in I want to bring light to people in this world. And if you think about a lighthouse, it shines this big light. It's not the rescue boat that's down doing rescuing. It's not in the water. It's shining the light to give people, whether it's inspiration, hope, thought, laughter. I want to be used as a lighthouse in this world. And so that's an attribute that I feel I am working on do okay at. Most of the time, try really every day. That's the mission I know I was given from my creator. And I love that. I love that analogy. And I'm grateful to the friend who helped point that out to me. So think about that today. That's your Sunday reflection. Take a moment to just love on you today. We're turning the kindness revolution inward in the month of November, and we want to work on some things that are good for our mental health. So we're going to talk about that over the next couple of days also, as we head into almost the middle of November already. What the heck? I hope you guys have a beautiful Sunday and know that you are incredibly loved. You're an integral piece of this world. All these things that you have said to describe yourselves, we need in this world. And what I love about Coffee Club is I think we've brought together a really incredible group of people who have a lot of the same attributes. And together, my friends, it's like the Care Bear stare. Do you remember Care Bears? Did you watch that cartoon either as a child or you watched it with your kids or your grandkids or whatever? Because we've got a wide variety of ages in Coffee Club. But do you remember when all the Care Bears would line up and they were like, it's time for the Care Bear stare. And they would count down, and all the powers that they each possessed was the symbol on their belly. And that symbol would light up and it would shoot out like a big rainbow, and they would fire out the great attributes and love that each Care Bear possessed. And that's what they would use to fight the darkness of the world. Kind of interesting how, like, philosophically deep the Care Bears really were. If you think about that for a moment and unpack it. And I like to find deep meaning in all kinds of things because it just makes me feel cool. Anyway, the Care Bear stairs, that's how they would push their light into this world. And my friends, as Virtual Coffee Club, you are my fellow Care Bears, and we are going to light up and we are going to shine and we are going to push the darkness that creeps in. Now, we will never be rid of darkness. Darkness also reminds us of light, and we have to take that moment to appreciate that sometimes. But I just appreciate you being my fellow Care Bears. And never in my life did I think I would ever say that, but I'm really excited that I get to. So have an amazing Sunday, my fellow Care Bears. And I hope you have a great rest of your Sunday. Paula, the great pause. Darlene started her day by sending one person a positive message. I don't find the need to do it publicly, but if that fits, that's okay. Thanks for coffee time. Yeah, like it doesn't have to be about being public. I just sometimes when we put something out there in the world, it's just an extra little bit of oomph. But I think what we do in kindness, we are doing privately all the time. And I'm so, so proud of each and every one of you. So thank you for this beautiful Sunday and enjoying a magical cup of coffee with me today or whatever you're drinking. We will see you back here tomorrow morning at 9 a.m. Mountain Standard Time. I look forward to connecting with you and kicking off a brand new beautiful week. Have a great rest of your day, my friends.